Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elanna if you are new to my channel, and this video has been put off for so long. I don't know why, but finally doing it. I'm going to show you how I do just a normal, typical, everyday type sort of makeup, but with all of the brushes that I love. So if you guys want to see the brushes that I can't recommend enough to you, then keep on watching. I have literally just scrubbed off all of my fake tan, so this is my natural skin color. You guys probably see me use a sponge most of the time. That is probably my favorite way to put on any kind of base product, just because I feel like it blends it out so nicely. But for a brush, this one is so good, probably because it's so big and dense. It just gets on your face product really quickly and evenly. It is by the brand Doll 10 and it's the number 9 brush. Really good, just like a shorter, like thick style Kabuki, but it's rounded and fluffy, not short and flat. I am, however, going to use it with my Note Cosmetics BB cream in the shade 01. I pop it all over my face. So as you can see, it literally just spreads the product so nicely, so evenly. And what I love is that you don't get any of those brush marks, which makes it really nice for a quick and easy application. Love that BB cream, but I also just love applying it with this brush. Like, it makes it such an easy application. You're gonna get the amount of coverage that you want from it, because with one of these sponges sometimes it does retract a little bit of the product, but with this you're getting really happy with that coverage. Super easy, super quick and convenient. Love this brush. Now for concealer, I probably actually use my finger a lot of the time, or the sponge, but I do have a more recent favorite brush, as in like this year, 2020. I'm going to be using the Born This Way concealer in Vanilla. And less is more, people. If you're starting to notice little creases under your eyes from your concealer, it's probably not your, well, it could be your concealer, but it's naturally just going to go into those lines no matter how much powder you use on top. So that's enough. Like, don't use too much because it's just going to go in the creases anyway. So this brush I love to use. It's a dual-ended. It's from Huda Beauty. It's amazing. It's great for a dual purpose in the sense where I like to use the short, thicker side to really stipple out my concealer and then go in with my finger for warmth, just to make sure it's all smooth. And then I just flip it to the other side, which is a little bit more tapered but fluffier and longer bristles, and just go in with whatever setting powder to set that eye area. For under my eyes, I'm going to use the Huda Beauty baking powder in Sugar Cookie and bring the powder inwards with this brush. It's going to go in the creases. They're naturally going to crease in there because the lines around your eyes are so fine and delicate. For bronzer or contouring, anything like that, I have two brushes that I love. First one I love is the Sigma one. It's the powder. It's actually a blush brush, but I don't really use it for blush. In F10, because it's a little bit smaller, you can really get a more defined contour look. And I find whenever you use a massive bronzer brush, you're just gonna overuse product and it's just gonna look a little bit muddy and, you know, too much bronzer. So I like a little bit more of a smaller brush. That's a little bit of a tip if you want to have more of like a defined looking bronzer contour situation. The other one I love, and you guys have seen this in a lot of my videos, I've used this for a couple of years now. It's also a Sigma one. It's a soft angled contour F23 brush. It's nice and fluffy. It's not like hard and sharp. It has a nice bounce to it, but it's perfect for really chiseling out any areas that you want to pop. So under your cheekbones, your nose, your jawline. Love this one. It doesn't make it look like you have lines on your face because it's a little bit fluffier. If it was shorter and flatter at the top, it probably would look a little bit more intense. I'm gonna use my Hoola bronzer. I'm gonna dip the F10 brush into it right at my hairline. I'm just gonna go in little circles all the way to the apples of my cheek and all the way back, just kind of blending the product back and forth. So you can already see the difference between this side and that side. Anything bigger than this size of brush for bronzer would just get a little bit intense. So I like to go in small circular motions on the perimeter of my face for a more sun-kissed effect. Happy with that. Nice and buffed out. It's not too structured, but I definitely feel like my cheekbones are popping. If I wanted it a little bit more intense, I can go in with this, which I guess for the sake of the video, I'll just show you. So popping, what is this, the F23 brush, and then creating a face so that you can see where your cheekbone is, and then just going under it. So you can see it just creates a little bit more definition and really pops those areas. This brush is so nice to blend a powder product on top of a cream base and it doesn't stick at all, which I love. With that same bronzer, because on an everyday basis I don't wear eyeshadow. I tend to not even really wear eyeshadow that much when I go out for events and stuff. I normally do like an eyeliner kind of look and use a bronzer. So I'm gonna use the same bronzer. I do love Sigma brushes. They just make them really well and they last forever because I've had these brushes for a couple of years now. Hopefully that's okay. This is a Sigma E25 brush. I also do love the MAC, is it 227 or is that an angled one? Ooh, I'll crack myself up here, but it's a universal blending brush and everyone loves it. This one is a little bit more of a flat, fluffy brush. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the same bronzer I used on my face, tap it out, and I'm actually gonna go all over my lid, right into my crease. I don't wanna go too much higher than my crease, but just blending on my lid for some definition. Nice little definition to the eyes. We're gonna pause on that and go back to my face because we're gonna go on to blush. I feel like if I'm using powder everywhere else on my face, I wanna use a little bit of cream on my cheeks to just pop them, but because it's a brush video, I'm gonna show you for when I use a powder brush. Weirdly, for blush, I actually kind of like a flatter style brush. And I don't know, I feel like I have a little bit more control with this. It is tapered at the top. I'll show you what I mean. So this is the GALifornia Benefit blush. So beautiful. It has a little bit of a gold reflex in it, so it creates a shine as if I was wearing a cream blush. So I'm gonna pop it on there in a flat motion. So it's on one side, tap it off. And then I just like to go ever so slightly on my apples of my cheeks and then blending upwards. And I feel like because I'm using the flat side of the brush, not the tip, I just have more control of where I'm putting my blush, if that makes sense. Where if I'm using a normal, well, let me show you. If I was using a normal blush brush, this one, which I use for bronzer, because you can't use it on an angle because it's not tapered like this one to be flat, it just, I don't know, it can be a little bit more overpowering with blush because you can literally see the circle created with the brush. That's how I feel. Obviously, you can use the brush that you love the most, but I love a flat style brush for blush because, I don't know, I just feel like it blends out the product way nicer. I have way more control and I like it. Also, I've been sleeping on this blush. I haven't worn it since like last summer and I thought I needed a good pop of color today, so I'm glad I picked it up. Also putting a little bit on my eyes as well, nothing new there. So that is my blush on, love it, so good. For highlighter, this is another product I've been sleeping on. I think since like I was pregnant with Olive, I wore it all the time when I was pregnant with her and a little bit afterwards. The NARS Fort de France bronzer or highlighter, it is unreal. I kind of forgot I had it, but it is so flipping good. And the brush I like to use with it is this little fluffy one from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's in A23. It's like a short little fluffy brush, but it's so good for, I'll just show you rather than talking. So nice for like really buffing in the highlighter without placing too much on, which can be definitely a problem sometimes with highlighter brushes. They pack on too much and then it kind of looks gray on top of the previous products you just put on your face, where this one just dusts it on but still shows the impact of the highlighter. So love this brush, guys. That's going back in my makeup bag. It's a good one. I'm gonna quickly go ahead and do my brows, which this product is so flipping good. It's the Urban Decay Brow Blade in, I think, Cool Cookie, yeah. And it has two different sides. One is like a waterproof pencil and the other one's an ink stain. I used it in another video that I'll link down below, but just wait till you see my brows in like 1 second. See what I'm talking about? There's just something about that product that is so quick and easy to use, but I feel like it defines your brows 10 times more than any pencil or anything else. I love it. So like I mentioned before, I normally don't wear eyeshadow on an everyday basis, but for this video's sake, I'm gonna show you what I would use. This brush, also from Sigma, it is the Eye Shading E55 brush. It's like a short, more dense shadow brush. Love this one for getting in my lash line and really creating a little bit more depth and then fading upwards. And then I can go back to that previous brush I was using for the bronzer that I used all over to blend it out at the ends. But this one is amazing for packing on a lot of color. Now for a little bit more of a precision brush, this one is so good. I used it in my latest tutorial, which was how I do my eyeliner. It is so good. I think it's like $2.99. It's the e.l.f. small angled brush. This is amazing for gel liners or a shadow, which I like to use a fixing spray with. So this is the Urban Decay All Nighter. I'm going to spray it a couple times I'm gonna go in with the darkest shade in this palette, which this is the Afterglow NARS palette. How beautiful is it? Love this for summer. I'm gonna go in with this dark chocolatey brown shade. Pop it in right at my lash line for extra definition, and then kind of wing it out ever so slightly. I'm gonna quickly curl my lashes and then add mascara, which this is the Major Pleasure mascara from NABLA. So good. I'm gonna do like 2, maybe 3 coats of this, and then we're gonna move on to lips. And finally for lips, I'm gonna use the 1993 Urban Decay lip liner to outline my lips, and to fill, I'm gonna use the MAC 411 Love Me lipstick in Laissez Faire. Can't say it, but it is such a beautiful shade. One little spritz of the all-nighter spray. And there you have it. That is my, well, excluding the eyeshadow, my everyday kind of makeup using all brushes. Love those brushes so much. I feel like they perform so well with all of the products that I used. I still can't get over that highlighter. Like, I hope you guys enjoyed and now know the brushes that I absolutely love and would 100% recommend to you. Hope you guys have a lovely day. I'll chat to you soon. Bye.